Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been paying close attention to what's happening around the NFL, especially in the AFC North, you already know that the Cleveland Browns are at a pivotal point in their offseason. There's always a lot of buzz around this team, whether it's about their quarterback situation, draft picks, or the need to bolster their roster. And right now, the spotlight is shining brightly on the wide receiver position. Yes, the Browns have been looking to improve their offensive weapons, and that's not exactly breaking news. But what's interesting is the recent speculation and potential moves that could redefine their strategy for the upcoming season. We're not just talking about minor tweaks. We're talking about game-changing decisions that could set the course for the Browns' future, possibly even their Super Bowl aspirations. The Browns' offense has been a topic of discussion for quite some time. Over the past couple of seasons, Cleveland has shown flashes of brilliance, but consistency and explosive plays at wide receiver have often been missing. Quarterback Deshaun Watson, who returned to the team last season after a complex and controversial journey, is eager to make this year his breakout year. He's got the talent, the arm, and the leadership, but to truly unlock his potential, Cleveland needs to give him more firepower on the outside. That's where the rumors about potential trades come into play, especially with names like Terry Mclaurin from Washington. Now Mclaurin is a proven star, a player who has consistently produced, but there are reasons why a move might not happen, mainly because of his contract situation and age. Recently, there's been buzz floating around that the Browns could be a landing spot for Mclaurin. The idea makes sense at first glance. He's a two-time Pro Bowler, a player with a knack for making big plays, and last season he put up impressive numbers: 82 receptions, over 0 yards, and 13 touchdowns. Those are the kind of stats that would instantly upgrade Cleveland's receiving core. But then the reality check comes in. Max Loeb from Honor the Land, a well-known Browns insider, pointed out that Cleveland might be hesitant about this move. Why? Because of McLaurin's current contract dispute with Washington. He's asking for around $30 million per year, and he's got just 1 year left on his deal. That's a pretty big financial commitment, especially considering McLaurin's age. You see, McLaurin turns 30 in September. That's not necessarily old for some positions, but for a wide receiver, especially one with a history of injuries or declining speed, it raises questions. The Browns are a team that's building for the long term, with a roster full of young talent and a core that they want to develop over the next few seasons. Investing heavily in a player approaching 30 years old might not align with their strategic timeline. It's a classic debate. Do you pay top dollar now for a proven veteran who might have a couple of elite seasons left, or do you invest in younger, perhaps less proven but more cost-effective options? And let's talk about that for a moment. Cleveland's management, led by owner D and general manager Andrew Berry, has shown a cautious approach in recent years. They've been very strategic in free agency and trades, often opting for players who fit their long-term plan rather than quick fixes. Last offseason, they made some savvy moves, signing players like Deshaun Watson, drafting well, and filling key positional needs. But the wide receiver position still has some question marks. Daunt Stallworth, Amari Cooper, and Donovan Peoples-Jones are solid options, but they lack that consistent explosive presence that can take over games. That's why the potential addition of someone like McLaurin or similar players is such a hot topic. However, the financial aspect cannot be ignored. Paying $30 million a year to a player who is approaching 30 and has shown signs of wear could be a risky proposition. The Browns have a relatively flexible cap situation, but committing such a large chunk of salary cap space to a single receiver might hinder their ability to sign other key players or retain their young core. Remember, Cleveland has invested heavily in their defense in recent years, with players like Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward. They're building a balanced roster, and adding a high-priced veteran receiver could upset that balance. And speaking of the roster, Cleveland's draft strategy has also been noteworthy. In recent drafts, they've focused on adding versatile players, especially on defense and offensive line, to build a team that can compete on all fronts. Their recent draft picks have shown a focus on speed, athleticism, and football IQ, but there's always room for improvement at the receiver position. The NFL is a league where the passing game is king, and having multiple reliable targets is crucial for success. Looking ahead, the Browns are also exploring other options. There are reports of interest in other free agents and trade targets. For example, some insiders have mentioned the possibility of a trade with Green Bay for a player like Christian Watson, or even exploring the draft for a promising receiver in the early rounds. Cleveland's staff is known for their smart, calculated approach, so they're weighing all options, considering cost, age, potential impact, and how each move fits into their overall plan. Now, let's not forget the broader picture here. The AFC North is one of the most competitive divisions in the NFL. The Cincinnati Bengals, led by Joe Burrow, have established themselves as a powerhouse, with a top-tier offense and a formidable defense. Pittsburgh Steelers, under Mike Tomlin, are always tough and well-coached, and they're looking to bounce back from a somewhat inconsistent season. Baltimore Ravens, with their dual-threat quarterback Lamar Jackson, continue to be a threat both on the ground and through the air. For Cleveland, these internal divisional battles are key, and adding the right pieces could be the difference between making the playoffs and missing out. The Browns' recent history has been a roller coaster, to say the least. From the tumultuous years of the franchise's struggles to the recent resurgence under Kevin Stefanski's coaching, there's a sense that this team is on the cusp of something special. The quarterback situation has been a big talking point, especially with Deshaun Watson now settled in and aiming for a breakout season. But to truly elevate this team, they need weapons, fast, reliable, and capable of winning 50-50 balls and creating separation. That's why the wide receiver market is so critical right now. Cleveland isn't just looking for a stopgap, they want someone who can be a cornerstone receiver for years to come. In addition to Mclaurin, there are other intriguing names being floated around. Players like Jerry Jeudy from Denver, or even trading for a younger, ascending star in the draft. But the Browns are known for being calculated. They're not just going to make a move for the sake of it. Every decision will be based on how well it fits their scheme, their culture, and their future plans. And that's what makes this offseason so exciting for Browns fans. The team has the pieces in place, and now it's about making the right strategic moves to push them over the top. Now, let's talk a bit about some of the key players on the Browns roster. Amari Cooper, for example, has been a fantastic addition since he arrived in Cleveland. He's a proven route runner with excellent hands, and he's shown that he can be a true number one receiver when healthy. Daunt Stallworth and Donovan Peoples-Jones have flashed potential, but consistency remains an issue. The emergence of a player like David Bell or a rookie draft pick could also play a role. Cleveland's offensive line, which has been revamped in recent years, is also critical in giving Watson the time to find his targets and extend plays. Defensively, Cleveland remains one of the most formidable units in the league. Myles Garrett continues to be a dominant pass rusher, and their secondary, with Denzel Ward and Grant Delpit, is among the best in the league. But in recent years, the team has been looking to add more speed and versatility on both sides of the ball, especially at linebacker and cornerback. The defensive strength provides a solid foundation for the team to build around, and now it's about complementing that with an offense capable of putting up points consistently. On the coaching side, Kevin Stefanski has been praised for his offensive schemes and game management. His approach has often been balanced, with a focus on a strong running game complemented by strategic passing. However, in today's NFL, a potent passing attack is essential, especially in the postseason. Cleveland's front office is aware of that, and their priority is to make sure Watson has enough weapons to succeed. That's why the potential addition of a high-caliber receiver is so important, not just for this season, but for the long-term competitiveness of the franchise. And it's worth mentioning that the Browns are not alone in their pursuit of a top wide receiver. The entire league is competitive, with teams like the Chiefs, Eagles, and Bengals investing heavily in their passing games. Cleveland wants to be in that conversation. They understand that to reach the Super Bowl, they need to be explosive, unpredictable, and have reliable playmakers in critical moments. The offseason is their chance to make that happen, and fans are eagerly awaiting any news of moves that could turn their team into a true contender. So, as we look toward the upcoming weeks, keep an eye on Cleveland's activity. The trade deadline, free agency, and the draft are all opportunities for the Browns to make strategic upgrades. Whether it's a veteran receiver like Mclaurin, a young draft gem, or a surprise trade, one thing is clear. Cleveland is actively shaping its future, and the results could be game-changing. The fans are hungry for success, and after years of ups and downs, this might just be the year they finally break through and make a serious Super Bowl push. AFC North is fierce, the competition is intense, but Cleveland has the pieces and the mindset. They just need that final push, that perfect move to get them over the top. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Now, as we wrap up, I want to emphasize that the Browns' offseason is far from over. The team's front office is known for their meticulous planning, and they're not rushing into decisions just because of the hype. They're evaluating every option, looking for the best fit, and trying to build a roster that can contend for the Super Bowl not just this year, but in the years to come. The wide receiver position remains a key focus, and there's plenty of speculation about who might come to Cleveland next. Whether it's through trades, draft picks, or free agency, Browns fans should be excited about the possibilities. The AFC North is stacked, and Cleveland knows that if they want to rise to the top, they need to be strategic and bold. The potential move for a player like Mclaurin or other big-name targets could be the catalyst that propels them into serious playoff contention. But it's not just about star power, it's about the chemistry, the scheme fit, and the ability to perform under pressure. Cleveland has a good foundation, a talented roster, and a coaching staff that's proven to adapt and improve. Now, it's about making those smart, calculated moves that can make all the difference in January and February. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe the Browns should pursue a high-profile receiver like Terry McLaurin? Or do you think they should focus on developing their current young talent and draft picks? Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. This team is on the rise, and the upcoming weeks are crucial for shaping their destiny. The passion is real, the stakes are high, and Cleveland fans are ready to see their team take the next big step. Thanks for being part of this journey with us, and as always, go Browns!